Oh, this is such a pretty shirt. Wow. Such a pretty shirt. And it's actually wild that I brought my Monstera as like a background piece when I know my girl is dying, guys. Like, all right, she's not dying, but she's not doing well. Like, look how, I'll show you in a vlog. Watch the vlogs. All right, I feel like this is the best I can kind of do. This is making me look like a devil. I'm over it. All right, hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, my name is Keiana, and today we're talking about journaling. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, I'm joking, I don't even use Instagram like that. Anyways, on my stories in the morning, sometimes I post about journaling, like my journaling prompts, just like reflective stuff. You know, I'm in my reflective mood in the morning, and people are always asking me, how do you come up with your prompts? You know, I love your prompts, love this, love that, blah, blah, blah. And the other day, and when I say the other day, I mean a long time ago, because I should have filmed this video like 2 months ago. Someone told me, she was asking me if I could make a video all about like my journaling process, how I come up with the prompts, what I write about, how does it make me feel, how it helps me to reach my goals, all that kind of stuff. So I thought I'd just put this video together for whoever it could help. It's not gonna be like, I cannot with the devil ears. It's just my own advice and opinions and stuff like that, right? So if it helps, it helps. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. But yeah, if you guys are new, you want to stick around and subscribe. I make videos all around my life working, all about my life working a 9-to-5 job and making the most of life outside of work, because there's lots to enjoy about life. So yeah, let's jump into the video and not make this intro any more awkward than it needs to be. All right, so I'm gonna split this video into like 2 different parts. The first part, I'm gonna share 7 tips that you can apply to your whole journaling process, get you in the groove, like just to make the journaling process more easier, more authentic, just something that you'll actually enjoy and something that will actually be useful to you. And then the second part, I'm gonna kind of talk about how do you actually journal, because a lot of people, and I know when I started journaling, they don't know what to write about. It's kind of annoying, you know, sometimes the prompts that you see online, they just don't help, so you're like, what am I doing here, what's going on? So we're gonna touch on both of those. Let's dive into the tips. Tip number 1, do not challenge yourself to journal. Now, of course, I love me a challenge. You know, you have your 30-day yoga challenge, 30-day running challenge, 30-day journaling challenge. We don't need to do that. Everything that, like, okay, if this works for you, it works for you, but I would recommend just not do it, because what we're trying to do here is make journaling this intuitive thing, not this forced thing, not something you need to do to reach a goal. I personally, I don't even journal every single day, right? Like, to have a journaling challenge would honestly frustrate me, and I'd probably stop doing it altogether. I don't know, it's like the whole thing with journaling, it's like you're getting to know yourself, you're learning about yourself, you're healing yourself. If you're trying to heal yourself, you shouldn't be trying to force yourself to do something when the whole goal is to nurture yourself. Similarly, you should want to journal because you want to talk to yourself, you want to reflect on what's going on in your life. So please just stop with the 30-day journaling challenges and all of that stuff. It's just, you don't need to do it. It's not necessary. You can do it if you want to do it, but it's not necessary. Tip number 2, approach journaling like you're talking to your friend or yourself. As I said before, it should feel comfortable. You should do it when you want to do it. You talk to your friends typically in a healthy way when you want to do it. And so treat journaling the same way. This is kind of the same thing I said about no challenges and all of that. You should feel open, you should feel honest, you should feel like, okay, like, you know, we're catching up. I haven't seen you in a while, I haven't talked to you in a day, I haven't talked to you in a month, I haven't talked to you in a week. Notice I'm giving you gaps in how often you can journal here. You're just catching up, you're just sharing what's going on. It doesn't always have to be like a prompt basis. You could literally just write, what's happening in my life right now, how does it make me feel? And I highly recommend, I don't know if this is a tip I have further down in my list because I made the script like a month ago, but constantly ask yourself, when you say things in your journal, just say why. How does that make me feel? Ask yourself these questions. That's how you get the most out of journaling, I feel. So yeah, and you should be doing that when you communicate with friends, right? So it kind of goes in the same thing. When someone comes to you with a problem or something happy or something exciting, you're like, oh my God, how? Oh my God, why? Oh my God, when? You know, ask yourself these questions because you need to put that much effort into yourself as well. Tip number 3, I really recommend to journal in places that make you feel safe and allows you to feel vulnerable. And I mean, physical places like your environment. I only journal in my house in the morning or at night or in my bedroom. Sorry, there's like a bird outside. I live with a roommate I love my roommate, duh, but like I do not like being interrupted when I journal. It really breaks my flow, it breaks my zone, it breaks my mindset, it makes me feel insecure, it makes me wonder if people are gonna wonder what I'm doing, makes me wonder if people are gonna judge me. I also know that's why I don't journal in public. Like I'd love to journal at a cafe. I think the aesthetic of it, not like what people see, but like just the energy I get from it, I feel like it would be cool if I had the balls to journal in public at a cafe, but it doesn't make me feel safe, therefore I don't force myself to do it. You can do it if you want, you know, like how you journal is up to you. Everything is very independent. I'm just sharing what works for me for the most part and speaking from experience, but I don't know, it's just such an intimate, private moment. It's kind of the same way with like PDA. Like if you're comfortable showing affection like that in public, then it won't matter to you as much as it will to me. I don't like doing that, so you're less likely to see me do it. Doesn't mean it's right or wrong, you know? So just be cautious of that. Journal in places that you feel comfortable doing it. If you feel comfortable journaling in the park, then do it. If you feel comfortable only journaling in your room at night in the dark, then do so. Tip number, are we at 4? Tip number 1, 2, 3, 4. Take advantage of the fact that you don't always have to journal in a physical book. I have a bunch of journals right here. I've actually been rereading my journal, which prompted me to film this video because I've just been getting very, you know, into it, nostalgic. But I have all these book journals and stuff like that, but sometimes there are things I'll write on my phone. They're Google Docs that I have with like some of the things I think about, just thoughts, and lots of I remember when I was going through some of the hardest periods of my life, I could not write it down. One, because kind of going back to the whole thing of safety, I just didn't want it to be in a place where someone could find it. You know, I lived with my mom. Who knows when she cleans my room? Yeah, my mom cleans my room. But anyways, like when my mom would clean my room or just stuff like that, I just don't want my things for other people to read. It's just, it makes me feel like that safety is going to be compromised. So take advantage of the fact that you have notes on your phone. You also could get locked. Like there's some apps on your phone where you can like lock what you write in there, stuff like that. Kind of like a diary app, basically. Take advantage of that. I preach about this all the time. Use voice recordings. Those are really helpful and an alternative way to journal. And if it makes you feel more comfortable or allows you to express more, do so. You know, journaling is just another way of expressing your emotions and getting it out there, right? I know the whole pen to paper thing, I don't know if scientifically it's proven to have any specific impact, but at the end of the day, for me at least, I'm just trying to get emotions out. So use whatever feels most comfortable in the moment. Tip number 6, this is a big one. Your journal should be messy. If I had the balls, and I don't, I would show you guys what especially some of my earlier journal entries looked like. They were disgusting, and I don't mean like my writing is crap. I mean, especially when I'm deep in a journaling session, I'm just scribbling. Fair, but like even the format in which I journal, like sometimes I thought it meant something was wrong with me. Like for example, I don't write in full sentences in my journal. Sometimes like there will be a lot of very short sentences just expressing emotions in each sentence. Like, why would this happen to me? I'm so upset at myself. Don't be upset at yourself. Just talking back and forth, and it's just kind of chaotic to read, kind of chaotic to just grammatically, and just everything's wrong with it, and that's fine. You know, it's fine if your journal is messy. It's fine if when you look at your journal or someone else looks at it, if someone were to look at it, it doesn't make sense, because you're not writing to impress anyone. You're not writing a book here. You're sharing your feelings with yourself on paper. Why did I say it like that? On paper. I think I didn't know if I was going to use a Canadian accent or a Jamaican accent. But yeah, you're here and you're talking to yourself and you're engaging with yourself. It's not about, does this look cute? Is this aesthetic? Like, what is that, you know? And even when it comes to physically writing, it's just like, I remember I have some friends that I'll share things in my journal, right? So I sent a picture of something in my journal the other day to my friend. He's like, bro, I can't even read your handwriting. And it's like, I'm not here to try and make this very cute, clean cut, because I'm not writing for people. I'm writing for myself. And, you know, if you need to share with your, and again, most people don't share with people what they write in their journal, I think. So, you know, that shouldn't matter to you. Just do it for you, people. Do it for you. That's the essence of what I'm trying to say here. Also, do not erase anything you write in your journal. I would say if you want to like redirect a thought, strike it through, but continue writing, and maybe even address, why did you strike that out? Why did you choose to rephrase your wording? I think some of the biggest regrets I have when it comes to journaling is deleting things when I didn't want it in there anymore, or when I changed my mind, or when I thought people would judge me if someone were to see it. The minute you release that judgment of, will someone see this, or what will people think, and all of that stuff, you're able to just show up as yourself even more and more and more. Tip number 7, I said already. I said allow yourself to be yourself in your journal. I don't understand if I'm not realizing that I'm saying the same thing over over again. So those were 6 tips, which one of them was kind of repeated, so 5. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next part of this video. How do I journal personally? And I hope it helps you guys. This is again what I specifically do for myself, so feel free to take what works. But even though I'm gonna share what I do personally, I hope you guys take this as inspiration and not like this is how you need to do these things. I find that nowadays, like even when my friends come to me for advice, and this is like a side tangent whatever, but or tangent is already like a side whatever, anyways, people come to me for advice nowadays, and I'm realizing I am not in a position to really tell you what to do. I'm only here to like share something, and you take from that and you do what you need to do for you, because I don't know what's in your mind, I don't know what you're going through. So what I won't like dive in on that, but you know, take it with a grain of salt and apply it to your own situation. So because I've been journaling for so long, I don't overthink the process of what I'm gonna do. I kind of again only journal when I feel to. There's some days where I know I need certain things more than others. Like some days I just need to start writing down things I'm grateful for. Some days I'm going in with intent, like I know I'm feeling a lot of pent up negative energy, so I'll do like a prompt that says things I want to release, things that are sucking up my energy, that kind of sucking up my energy, taking up my energy, you know, just not making me feel good. There are prompts for that. I think it all comes with like understanding how you're feeling emotionally, and journaling helps that. So the two kind of help each other over time. After a while, you're gonna know what you need more of, what you need less of. Some days you just want to scribble, you just need to empty your mind because your mind is just filled with too much, you're doing too much, and you need a break. You need to just release, you need to catch yourself, you need to see where you are. Other days you just kind of want to express some gratitude, so you're gonna hit it with a gratitude prompt, you know? And how do I come up with these prompts? So of course for prompts you can Google them. I do that. Well, I don't Google prompts as much anymore, but I do recommend starting there because I started there, and that's where many people will start. There's also obviously going on Pinterest, which is very much the same as Googling. There are also the girls on Instagram that do the whole journaling kind of vibe, that have the whole journaling kind of vibe to them, and I like them more sometimes than going on Pinterest and Google. But just be careful when you take prompts from people. I think like when we attach the prompts and that kind of energy to people, we start adopting certain tendencies or styles in which they journal, and it's not our own. We're not making it our own. We're just taking and using it as a script, kind of like what I said earlier, which you should not be doing. My favorite way to get prompts, or the favorite places to take prompts from, literally outside. Go outside, look at the things around you, see what inspires you. For example, right now I'm looking at this old building, and I'll just start thinking, what if I lived in this old building? How would my life be different? I'm gonna start thinking about how would my life be different, and I'll compare it to my life now, and what is in my life that, like, you know, what am I grateful for in my own life? Like, can I survive in a life like that? Why or why not? What fears do I have that prevent me from living a life like that? Those are the best ways to get your prompts, guys. Like, challenge yourself. These prompts are supposed to help you tap into what's those thoughts that you really try to push aside over and over again. There are lots of times when I'm journaling like a brain dump, and let's say I'm scribbling on and on and on, and the minute I hit the core of the problem, that's when I kind of tap away from it. Those are the things that you want to explore when you're journaling, the things that you don't want to think about. So that's why I keep telling you, ask yourselves why, when, how, where, all these questions, and just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper. That's how you're going to come up with your prompts. I take prompts from podcasts as well. Podcasts, like, they could be about anything. It could be a podcast about birds, and I'll start asking myself, why do I find this so funny? Is this even funny? What does this say about humor in society? Like, ask yourself questions about the world. Ask yourself questions about your friends. Ask yourself questions about your parents, your mom. Speak to your grandparents. Speak to your family. Speak to people around you. Speak to your bosses. Speak to your whoever. You know, what's the opposite of a boss? I am my boss's subordinate? Anyways, those are how I get my prompts. I think it comes easier over time to come up with prompts in that kind of way, but it is my favorite way to feel inspired to write. I don't know how else to explain it by just telling you to go just look at things, observe things, talk to different people, and just ask questions. And to just continue on how I journal, like I mentioned earlier, the whole talking to yourself, talking in the shower, voice recordings, talking with friends, talking with strangers, those are ways I consider journaling, because I'm expressing myself, I'm tapping into my emotions, and I'm reflecting. Especially the talking in the shower. I just have a soft spot for that, especially when no one can hear me, because like, you can't be doing that shit, my roommate's outside. It's kind of like a, you know, what's going on? But yeah, I like doing that as well. So I think I kind of touched on everything about how I journal and just tips I wanted to share with you guys. Again, all the tips I gave you guys, I practice those myself. So the whole talking to myself in the shower, voice recording, actually writing in my room in the dark, all that kind of stuff, those are based on my own experiences. So I do hope they help you. Final thing I kind of wanted to touch on before I wrap up the video, someone asked me how journaling helps me achieve my personal goals and wellness goals. I used to journal for personal goals and wellness goals in the past. I don't anymore. I won't say I don't completely though, because I just kind of separate my emotions from me trying to achieve my goals. Even though achieving my goals does affect my emotions, I've just found that I'm a lot more delicate than I think I am, and I'm very sensitive, right? So goals lately, especially since this year, they kind of just bring a lot more pressure than they really need to in my life. So I just don't bring that into my journaling. What I will journal about is, why do I feel that way? Why do goals or trying to set goals make me feel that way? But you're not gonna ever see me writing what are the goals I want to achieve in my journal. I just don't do that anymore. It's not productive for me, but it used to be, and I know it works for other people. This is just me. And if you feel anxious about like goal setting and stuff like that, that is something to consider, something to explore. Why does it make you feel anxious? You know, is it because you don't really care about achieving goals like that and you just do it because society tells everyone that they need to set goals to be productive and work hard to be the best citizen ever? Maybe. So that was just a question I wanted to answer a part of this video. But yeah, I think that's everything. I hope this video was helpful. I hope it makes your journaling process a lot easier. I did my best. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. Let me know if it was helpful. Let me know if you liked this kind of stuff or this type of content. I don't know. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Oh my gosh, before I go, I wanted to shout out my special book. Sometimes I get these like journaling prompt books. This one isn't like a journaling prompt book, but it's like a, what page was that? It's like a story, like they'll give you story prompts, like what story comes to mind. Oh, I don't want to read that one. How did your relationship with your parents change in high school? This is like a journaling prompt, I guess you could say, but you write the prompt as like a story. So I like things like that, and I'll write the story, then reflect on the story in my journal. So I just thought I'd share that because this is really helpful. I got this from Indigo Chapters. If I can find it, I'll link it down below. In Canada. You probably can find it on Amazon too. Thank you guys for watching.